Okay, so I am in the wisteria with owners Ryan and Chandler Diaz, and they're going to answer some questions for us about living full-time tiny and about their house that they built. Okay, Ryan, Chandler, here we go. I got to go up the stairs a little bit because I want to see both of you. One more. Can you guys just sit together like you... I don't know,
like we're married.
Like you're like newly married. Okay, so why tiny?
It was your dream. I will fully say I was like, no. Maybe like after we have kids and we're empty nesters,
It
maybe
took a
then.
lot of convincing.
He was finally like, Chandler, listen. Money, it's gonna be great.
Yep.
2, we like each other. We can live in that. We can do this.
Yep.
And do you feel like, you know, like you're able to save more, like your overhead is less?
Absolutely. Yeah. Coming from renting in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then coming here, it's a completely different game.
Awesome.
So, and being full-time students for both of us, it's huge.
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, I can relate to that, just being able to stretch your dollar and pay off debt.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Biden pays off some of our student loans. Okay, so advice to others wanting to build tiny. Because you guys built this. How long did it take you?
It took us 6 months.
Only on the weekends.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So in total, it was like 42 days, I think it was.
42 days. You built a tiny house in 42 days. And how much did you build it for?
Just
16?
under 16.
That's amazing.
12 of that was a loan, and $4,000 of that was out of pocket. So that was a little bit. We were kind of eating PB&Js at the end.
Yeah.
But it was well worth it. It was our first year of marriage was hard. Pandemic hit. We started building this the week that we went on lockdown.
Yep.
And like now, 2x4s have gone up exponentially in price because of supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was good
if
timing.
we would have built this now, it probably would have been
triple
30, $40,000 at least.
That's
so
crazy.
we kind of did it at the best time, and it was difficult, but it was so worth it.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give people who are thinking about building their own tiny house?
I would say know exactly what your wants and needs are from the get-go.
You have to prioritize everything.
Prioritize your needs. Put as many wants as you can in it so that you're comfortable and you like living in it.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't be butthurt because you're going to have to make it work
There are
sometimes.
going to be things that you have to give up.
A lot of compromises.
Yeah.
That's tiny living.
Yeah. Yeah. But you don't feel like you, compromise, but do you feel like you sacrificed anything?
Not at all.
That's awesome. I love that. Compromises, adjustments, but no sacrifices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that. So what are some pieces in your house that you just feel like they're ingenious? They just, as far as functionality.
That's my favorite thing.
Yes.
So we went to Habitat for Humanity Restore, which is like a secondhand store for house
Those are
parts.
secondhand windows.
So
I love
those pair of
that.
windows, the top one had not previously been installed in a house. The bottom one had. But those together were $120.
Oh my god.
And the top one alone with an installation kit was probably $500. I mean, my dad and my grandpa, who framed it in,
They worked hard on
they
that.
worked their butts off trying to figure out how to frame a round window, but I give them so much props. They did amazing, and it is my favorite piece. It makes our house so much more open, and we get the sunrise in the east, and it's like my favorite thing.
Yes. Okay, so window, what else?
Okay, so the next is probably the litter box container. Everybody always asks, how do you do a tiny house with a cat?
I was researching so much on other people who have cats and what did they do, and I kind of accumulated some ideas, and my grandpa assisted in making it work.
So we have a cubby down here that has a lock on it so we can open it up and clean it out, just like that. And then it has a cat door on it so that she can go in, but our 2 dogs cannot get to it.
Oh my gosh.
And it's hidden and everything.
Our bigger dog
Ingenious.
she likes to get in there and be nosy, and it's unnecessary. So we wanted to make sure we were hiding it from us, eliminating any kind of eyesores or odors, and also keeping the dog out of it. And it works for everything.
Love that. Love that. Okay, one other thing.
We've talked about the sink.
The countertops.
The countertops are great.
Yes.
One of the things, and everybody that has a tiny house, like most of the time they have it, But these mini splits, my dad rants and raves about this thing. It's completely quiet. It does its job super, super well.
Heating and air,
Heating
right?
and air, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't had a single problem with it. Even on the coldest days that we've had here recently, it does extremely well.
That is amazing. Awesome. Okay, so famous question. What's one thing you wish you would have done differently?
So, when we went into building this, we were on a shoestring budget. Shoestring. So, my stepmom and my dad had found this trailer is actually a used trailer. So,
Car
we got
trailer.
it for $2,000
Mm-hmm.
to $2,200.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of, we had to take what we could get. And we had a lot of we were grinding a lot of steel off of it. We had to kind of rework it and take out some boards and put some fresh ones in. And if we could have gotten a bigger trailer, yeah.
I definitely would have gone a little bit bigger, maybe to 24 feet, just so that we, if we wanted to have a family, we could accommodate that.
Well, and I do want a soaking tub, but your mom's lucky enough to let me use hers. So.
Yeah.
I love it. Awesome. All right. Any last words, encouragement, anything you want future tiny homeowners to know?
It's an adventure, but it's so worth it.
Yay.
It is an
So
adventure.
worth it.
Yeah.
It's a
I
struggle.
highly recommend it to everybody.
All the blood, sweat, and tears are worth it.
Awesome. All right, so that is the wrap up of our tour of the Wisteria with the owners, Ryan and Chandler Diaz. Tune in next week. We're going to be touring another house. Post below if you have any questions. All right, bye.